Okay, one of our most important GCSE skills, 10% means 10 out of 100. We can simplify that to be 1 over 10. So what we're after here is 1/10, and that is the same as dividing by 10. So if I'm going to be dividing by 10, I'm going to be moving all my digits one place to the right. So my 7 goes here, and my 4 goes here. Decimal point stays the same. So my answer is 7.4. Oh, it's money. So let's make sure that we've written that properly as money. And the nugget to go and practice is 7.04. Okay, well, our key piece of knowledge here is that 1 litre equals 1,000 millilitres. Now, we haven't used a ratio table for a little while, so let's get that going. Our litres and our millilitres, 1 is 1,000th. So my key knowledge here is that if I'm going from litres to millilitres, I'm going to multiply by 1,000, which means that if I'm going the other way, the inverse of that process is to divide by 1,000. In our question here, we're given that we have 350 millilitres. So in order to find what that is in litres, I have to divide that by 1,000. Now in question 1, we were looking at some place value. So let's do that again here. So we have 350. We saw in question 1 that dividing by 10, we move our digits one place to the right. So if we're going to divide by 1,000, we're also going to the right 3 places, because this is 10 to the power 3. So 1, 2, 3. So my 3 is going to go 1, 2, 3 places here. My 5 to here. My decimal point stays the same. So there's my answer. My answer is 0.35. Let's tidy that up with a placeholder in front of the decimal point. So 0.25 litres. Now, to go and practice that on century, try nugget 36.04. Now, actually, that's about length, but exactly the same principle goes on here. Millimeters, meters, milliliters, litres, milligrams, grams. So that's important education in the metric system. Okay, so we start with 3, then we're going to add 4, plus 4 equals 7. We're then going to multiply by 2. 7 times 2 is 14. And a nugget with similar sorts of principles then is 22.03. Now, key to understanding any ratio question is to make sure that we have a clear diagram, and very important that these parts are equal. So there's Ahmed's 2 parts, there's Bilal's 2 parts. And so in total, we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts, and these total 945. So our starting point is to find out what one of these parts is. So we're going to divide this by 7. Let's do that division. How many 7s go into 9? 1 with the remainder 2. How many 7s go into 24? 3 with the remainder 3. And how many 7s go into 35? Well, that's 5. And the key thing here is that because these are equal parts, that's telling us is that all of these 7 parts are 135. Okay? And we're asked, what is the smaller share? Well, our smaller share here is Ahmed's, which is 2 lots of 135, which is 270. Oh, and it's in money. Let's not forget that. Really important skill this. Nugget to go and practice, 15.15. And if you have any concerns, make sure you draw a diagram of what your ratio looks like. Okay, we've got quite a lot of work to do here. So we've got to express each as a product of prime. So let's do that start with 60. So 60, we're going to split it with this tree here, 2 times 30. 30 can be split into 2 times 15, and my 15 can be split 3 times 5. So 60 is 2 squared times 3 times 5. So that's expressing each as a product. Product means times of its prime numbers, 2, 3, and 5. I'm going to do the same here with 144. Okay, well, I know that 144 is 2 12s, so this should go quite quickly. Okay, because we can do the same on both sides. 2 and 6, 2, 3, 2, 3. Let's just make sure I know how many 2s I've got there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 144 is 2 to the power 4 times 3. I've got 2 3s, 3 squared. Okay, now to find the highest common factor, I've got to find for each of these prime numbers how often they go into both of these expressions. Well, if we have a look at 5 here, whilst it's involved with 60, it isn't involved with 144. So that's not common. When we look at 3, we can see that 3 appears once here, it appears twice here. So we can only use it once. And we've got 2 squared here, 2 to the power 4 here. So 2 squared is common. So my highest common factor is 2 squared times 3, which is 4 times 3, which is 12. Quite a bit of work to do there, but it's good mental arithmetic and shows a good understanding of our prime numbers and how to find common factors. And indeed, we could use a similar process to find common multiples as well. So the nuggets to practice there are 5.10, which is actually generating these factor trees and the product of the primes, and 5.13 to go and calculate the highest common factor. Well, that's the end of our notes and solutions for day 48 of our GCSE 5 a day. Hope you're enjoying this work. Keep practicing, because those exams are now only a few weeks away.